Now, I want to finish today's lesson by showing you how to join letters in shorthand. This is on page 6 of your textbook, and you can see it here on the screen if you want to take a screenshot. Okay, so if we're joining letters, you'll notice that all the words on this page begin with vowels, okay? And we've learned indicator vowels, and you've learned that there are two ways to write most of the indicators, at least A and E or A and I. So the first word that we have here is the word if. So if we're going to write the word if, sorry, it's a wee bit off, we're going to use indicator I, and we know we can do it this way or we can do it that way. And then we know that F can go above the line like that, so upward F, or we can have downward F like this. So to write the word if, the easiest way to join I and F is to use the downward form of indicator I. So start about a quarter of the way up above the line. Just start about there and just draw down to the line, and you go right down in a straight line, and then you just go round in a loop like that. Now some people prefer to do I and then F in an anti-clockwise direction. It really doesn't matter that much. It's better if you do it clockwise, because then you're going in the direction of writing, and you're going off to the right, but it really doesn't matter either way. So start just above the line. Sorry, the quality isn't great there. So start above the line, go just down the straight line and round then in your loop, okay? Because if you try to, a lot of people will make the mistake of starting here and, sorry, that's away again now, try and get it back. Yeah, a lot of people make this mistake of starting there, they go to the line and then they think, right, I've done I, now I have to do F, and then they go around sort of in a shape like that. That takes too long. It's gone again, sorry. So you start on the line, or just, sorry, I beg your pardon, just above the line, down in a straight line, just go straight and then around and finish it off, F. And I realised I skipped in. So the first one there was in. And again, we know that I can go this way or this way. And we know that N starts above the line and goes like that. So what do we do here? Well, in order to have N resting on the line where it should be, we're going to write I above the line. So the easier one to join on is this one, the one that goes down to the line, because if we do the one that goes up from the line, we're going to write I and then N, and at speed that's very difficult. Also, a rule in shorthand is that where you join two letters together, if there's going to be an angle between them, you want to keep the angle narrow if you can, because then the outline is easier to read back. So if you write indicator I followed by N like that, you've got a wide angle between the I and the N, and at high speed writing that can actually become distorted, and it could end up just looking like that, and you think, well, is that an R, what is it? And it doesn't make any sense. So instead we start about here, about 3/4 of the way up, and we do our indicator I down the ways, and then we go round for N. So we have a nice little narrow angle here between the two letters, and both letters are easily read. So I, N, I, N. Again, I remind you, don't start it too far up, because if you do, what you have there is INH, and that's not what we want. So we want IN, and you should write that about 50 or 60 times. Again, go over it in the book, write a word in the book with a pencil first to get the shape and the size, and then copy it into your jotter. Write the word in the margin, which is what I haven't done. So I would write in longhand there, and then once I've learned it from the book, I would go over here and write it in shorthand, and then I would say in. And if you find yourself, sort of getting sloppy and it's going like that, or you're doing it like that, just call yourself back, call your attention back to it again, and form it really, really precisely. So this is where you lay the groundwork now so that you can write at speed later on. The next one is it. And we will learn more of this as we go along, but if you're using the letter D or the letter T, that you want, insofar as you possibly can, you want to keep the D on the line and you want to keep the T above the line, because that's very important for reading back. So again, you're going to accommodate the letter T. The T is a bit of a queen really when it comes to our letter writing, because it tends to dominate the rest of the word. Sometimes, not always, but a lot of the time. So the I will start just directly below the upper line, and you'll go down this way and then over for T. So indicator I, T. Again, do it from the book, get the hang of it, and then copy it into your jotter. I, T, I, T, I, T. And keep saying it, and drill it. The next one then is am, as in I am. Now, we learned that indicator A has two forms because full A looks like this. So indicator A can be this one or it can be this one. Obviously, this one looks exactly like indicator I, but the context would tell you the difference. And I'll talk more about that later on. But this is the one here that we're going to use now, this one here. So the indicator A that goes down to the line. So that does look like an A. It's very clearly not an I. Now, M is written on the line, so we can easily write A like this and then join on M. That's easy to do. A, M. And you'll notice I'm not lifting my pen at all. You know, don't write A. Oh, that's great. I've done an A. Now I'll do an M. You want to keep the outline as smooth as possible and you don't want to lift your pen. So, and again, you'll notice the angle between the two letters is quite small. When you've done that 50 or 60 times, then you'll go on to an. And just as we did with in up here, where we started the I above the line, we're going to do the same with the A here. Now, again, you have two forms of A, but the one that we most commonly use is this one, because this one is only used when this one doesn't work, okay? But again, I'll talk about that later. So it goes down to the line, it goes down the waist. So we're going to start up here, and then we're going to join it on to N. That's actually too tall. So start a bit lower down, A, N. So about a third of the way up, A, N, A, N. And that gives us that nice narrow angle between the two letters. So I'm going to write that 50, 60 times. I say an. Sorry, I'm looking again through the screen, so this is kind of hard. The next one then is as. That's a nice wee easy one. So we've got our indicator A, and we've got our S, which is just a small circle that goes anti-clockwise. So for as, you're going to write indicator A, S. Now, do not make the mistake of writing indicator A to the line and then stopping and then doing a circle. That's not it. That's like a lollipop. Just do as, indicator A to the line, and then continue around like that. So your straight line goes to the line and then you go around the bend like that and finish it off. So it's like when you're driving and you come down a straight road and then you come to a roundabout and you're going all the way around the roundabout. Okay, so that is as. And be careful that you don't overlap, because if you do this, then you've got an extra letter which you don't want, and you don't want it to come straight down because then it's E. You want to get it slanted. So A-S, as. Okay, sorry about the quality there at the end. So those are your words.